Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel where I share real-life stories that hit you right in the feels. Tales of heartbreak, betrayal, and that sweet, slow burn of karma coming full circle. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button right now and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on these gripping narratives. And if this story resonates with you, give it a thumbs up and share it with a friend who's going through something similar. Trust me, it'll mean the world to them and to me. Picture this. It's a sweltering afternoon in Dayton, Ohio, the kind where the humidity clings to your skin like an unwanted hug. I'm Rick Holloway, 56 years old, standing in a dimly lit courtroom that smells faintly of stale coffee and polished wood. My wife of 27 years, Linda, sits across from me, her navy blazer pressed to perfection, not a hair out of place. She's staring at the judge with this steely determination, like she's about to close the deal of her life. And then she says it, clear as day. I want everything, the house, the car, the savings, just not our son. The room goes dead silent. Even the old ceiling fan in the hallway outside clicks like it's holding its breath. My heart is pounding, but not from anger, from clarity. Because in that moment, I know exactly what I have to do. I lean over to my lawyer and whisper, "Give it all to her." Gasps ripple through the courtroom. The judge's pen freezes mid-air. Linda's lips twitch into something that's not quite a smile, more like the satisfaction of finally getting what she thinks she deserves. But let's rewind. This isn't where our story starts. No, the real beginning is buried in the quiet routines of a life I thought was solid as the foundations I inspect for a living. I'm a building inspector here in Montgomery County, Ohio. Been at it for over 30 years. My days are spent crawling under houses, shining flashlights into dark corners, spotting the rot before it brings the whole thing down. Rotten joists, cracked beams, mold sneaking along basement walls like a thief in the night. You learn to see the signs early, or someone gets hurt. Our home on Wrenwood Drive was my pride. A modest two-story colonial in a neighborhood where kids still ride bikes after dinner and folks wave from their porches. I bought it back in '98, right after Linda and I got married. It needed work. Leaky roof, outdated wiring. But I fixed it up myself weekends and evenings, with Linda handing me tools and laughing about how we'd grow old there. We painted the kitchen a soft yellow because she said it reminded her of sunshine. Planted hydrangeas out front that bloomed big and blew every summer. And then Evan came along, our miracle after 2 years of trying. He was born on a rainy April morning, tiny and squalling, and from that day, everything felt anchored. For years, it was good. Not perfect, whose life is, but good. I'd come home with concrete dust on my boots, kiss Linda on the cheek while she stirred something on the stove. Evan would run in from the backyard, grass-stained knees, showing off a frog he'd caught or a drawing he'd made. We'd eat dinner together, talk about our days. Linda worked part-time at a real estate office back then, answering phones, filing listings. She was content, or so I thought. We'd save a little each month for Evan's college fund, skip the fancy vacations for backyard barbecues. It was Ohio normal, steady, unflashy, but ours. But cracks don't appear overnight. They start small, hairline fractures you tell yourself are just settling. About 5 years ago, Linda discovered Facebook. Sounds harmless, right? She joined these groups for women reinventing themselves, posting selfies with captions like, "Living my best life," or "Time for change." First, I teased her about it. "You're already the best," I'd say, and she'd roll her eyes but smile. Then she started buying things, new clothes, makeup, that expensive lavender face cream that made the whole bathroom smell like a spa. "It's self-care, Rick," she'd say. "You should try it." I didn't mind. Work was steady, and she deserved nice things. But then the side hustle began. Linda got into home staging, dressing up houses for sale to make them look magazine perfect. "Just a few pieces," she said one day, hauling in a throw pillow and a vase from some discount store. "People pay good money for this. It's temporary." Temporary. That word became her mantra. The first item to go was the crocheted blanket Evan's grandma made before she passed. "It'll come back," Linda promised. Then our nice lamp vanished, replaced by a cheap one from Walmart. Evan noticed right away. He was 14 then, all gangly limbs and quiet observations. "Where's the good light?" he'd ask, and Linda would wave it off. "At a client's. Don't worry." Before long, our living room looked like a showroom, sterile, impersonal. The comfy couch we sank into for movie nights? Gone one Saturday while Evan and I were at AutoZone picking up oil for my old Ford F-150. We came back to a sagging love seat that creaked like an old door. Evan stood there, backpack dangling from one shoulder, staring. "Mom!" Linda breezed in with a Starbucks cup, grinning. "It's fine. The old one's staging a $1 million listing. This works for now." Evan's eyes met mine, a silent question hanging between us. I swallowed hard and nodded. "Okay, as long as it comes back. What do you think, folks? Have you ever noticed those little changes in your life that seem innocent at first, but pile up into something bigger? Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your stories. And if you're hooked already, smash that like button to show some love. The garage filled up next. Boxes stacked high, labeled in Linda's neat handwriting. "Staging. Do not touch." My tools got shoved to the back corner, my ladder leaning against the wall like an exile. I'd squeeze in there to work on small projects, fixing a neighbor's leaky faucet or tightening bolts on Evan's bike, but it felt like I was intruding in my own space. Linda started talking about everything as assets. Not our dining chairs, but valuable inventory. She'd stand in the living room, hands on hips, surveying the room like a general. "I need the table next," she'd say casually. I paused, screwdriver in hand. "The one we eat on?" She'd sigh. "Rick, it's business. It'll come back when I can." Evan heard it all. He'd linger in doorways, backpack slung low, absorbing more than he let on. He was a good kid, smart, quiet, with my broad shoulders and Linda's blue eyes. He loved tinkering with me in the garage, handing me wrenches while we listened to classic rock on the old radio. But as the house emptied, he withdrew a bit, spending more time in his room with headphones on, scrolling through videos or texting friends. One night, after Linda hauled away the coffee table I'd built from reclaimed oak, Evan sat at the kitchen counter, poking at his homework. "Dad, is Mom okay?" I ruffled his hair. "She's just excited about her business, bud." He nodded, but his eyes said he wasn't convinced. Money started shifting too. Our joint account dipped at odd times, not for groceries or gas, but big chunks that matched boutique receipts or supplier invoices. I didn't confront her right away. In my job, you don't yell at a crack. You measure it, document it, figure out the cause. So I started paying closer attention. Logged into the bank app more often, noted the patterns. Linda brushed off my questions. "It's an investment, Rick. The business will pay us back tenfold." I'd nod, but inside, doubts gnawed like termites. Then came the night that changed everything. It was 2:07 a.m., 8 months before that courtroom scene. I woke up thirsty, my bladder nagging like it does more often these days. Padded down the hall in socks, past the framed photos. Evan at 8, holding a bluegill from Cedar Creek Lake, all grins and sunburn. Linda and me at a Dayton Dragons game, arms around each other, happy in that unposed way. The kitchen was dark, except for a blue glow from Linda's phone. She was hunched over the table, thumbs flying across the screen. She didn't hear me stop in the shadows. The messages were clear, even from a distance. "Can't wait to have my own stage. You're going to look unstoppable." Then another, "Once you're free, you won't have to drag dead weight around anymore." Dead weight. The words hit like a sledgehammer. My throat tightened, heart slamming against my ribs. Linda smiled at the screen. A real, warm smile I hadn't seen directed at me in months. I backed away silently, legs numb, and stared at myself in the bathroom mirror. Crow's feet deeper than I remembered. Gray threading my temples. Tiredness etched around my eyes. Who was the dead weight? Me? Our life? I slipped back into bed, lying awake as Linda joined me 20 minutes later, phone face down, smelling of lavender and secrets. The next day, I didn't say a word. Confrontation would just lead to denials, arguments, cheap patches over deep rot. Instead, I inspected, watched how she dressed sharper, talked faster, spent less time at home. Noticed the new habits. Late nights networking, phone always glued to her hand. Our bed felt colder, conversations shorter. How was your day? I'd ask. Busy, she'd snap, eyes on her screen. Hey, quick question for you. If you caught your partner hiding something like that, would you confront them right away or wait and gather evidence? Let me know in the comments. It's always fascinating to see different perspectives. The college fund statement arrived on a Thursday. I got home early from inspecting an old duplex. Damp basement, flickering lights, and sorted the mail at the counter. The envelope was plain, but the logo familiar. Opened it and the balance stared back, thousands lower. My stomach dropped. Transaction line, transfer out. Authorized by Linda Holloway. I sat there, paper trembling slightly, picturing Evan, now 19, taking classes at the local community college, dreaming of transferring to Ohio State for engineering. That fund was his shot, built from years of overtime, skipped dinners out, driving my truck until the odometer begged for mercy. Linda came home humming, cheeks flushed, carrying a boutique bag. She froze when she saw the statement. Why are you looking at that? Because it's missing money, I said evenly. She crossed her arms. It's an investment. It'll come back. You took Evan's college money. Her face hardened. It's our money. Evan will be fine. Kids figure it out. That's when it clicked. She didn't see the wrong in it. To her, it was just another asset to flip for her reinvention. I didn't sleep well after that. Lay awake listening to the house creak, tracing that faint crack in the bedroom ceiling. Progressive failure, that's what we call it in inspections. Weakens slowly until snap. Linda's absences grew. Client meetings, open houses. She'd leave in tailored jackets and clicking boots, hair perfect, smelling of ambition. Dinners became Evan and me eating takeout, talking about his classes or my job sites. Mom working again? He'd ask casually. Yeah. I'd say, flipping pancakes on Saturdays, trying to keep some normalcy. The house echoed more. Good chairs gone, spare bedroom stacked with boxes. Evan caught me one night staring at the empty spots. Are we moving, Dad? The question pierced me. I don't know yet. He nodded, jaw tight. Linda announced the divorce 3 weeks later, standing in the hollow kitchen. I'm not happy, Rick. I want more. She'd already lawyered up, listed what she wanted: house, cars, accounts. What about Evan? I asked. She waved it off. He's grown. He can stay with you. That night, alone in the sagging love seat, I pulled out my phone and started a note titled Renwood. Documented everything. Dates, items missing, withdrawals. Not to trap her, to protect what mattered. Evan, our future. If you haven't already, like this video and subscribe for more stories like this one. They're based on true events. Names changed to protect privacy, but the emotions? Raw and real. And hey, if this hits home, share it. You never know who might need to hear it today. So where were we? Oh yeah, Linda dropping the divorce bomb like it was a business pitch. I want more, she said, as if our 27 years were a starter home she was outgrowing. I didn't argue, didn't beg, just asked about Evan, and her casual dismissal, he's grown, landed like a gut punch. But I wasn't crumbling. No, I was shifting into inspector mode full throttle. In my line of work, you don't fix what ain't broke by yelling. You assess, measure, plan. The next morning, I called Tom Brarislin, my lawyer. Known him for years from VFW events, solid guy, handshake like iron. We met at a Greasy Spoon diner off Route 48. Booths cracked, coffee strong enough to strip paint. I laid it all out. The texts, the missing furniture, the raided college fund. Facts only, no drama. Tom rubbed his chin. She's asking for a lot, Rick. We can fight, the fund alone gives leverage. I shook my head. Not fighting. Just need to know how to let it fall without crushing Evan or me. He paused, then nodded slowly. Okay, we document and wait. But waiting's tougher than swinging fists. He was right. Linda took my silence as weakness. Started treating me like a tenant on his way out. Short answers, dismissive glances. She'd paced the living room on her phone, heels clicking on the hardwood I'd refinished. Yes, I'll have the house by summer. I overheard once. Rick's folding, no stomach for a fight. I pretended not to hear, organizing tools in the garage. But each word fueled my resolve. Documentation became my lifeline. Photos of the garage. Stacks of inventory with tags still on. Serial numbers noted like appliance models in a report. Bank statements highlighted, transfers matching purchases. Nothing sneaky. All from joint accounts or mail to our address. Then the storage unit charge appeared on the checkbook. Monthly, hefty. Overflow, Linda said when I asked. You don't need details. But I did. A quick public records check showed the location. Industrial strip, not zoned for commercial storage. Fire codes, liabilities, red flags galore. I didn't report it. Just noted it. Letting bad ground sink itself isn't pushing. It's physics. Evan sensed the storm. He'd come home from community college, drop his bag, and join me in the garage. Need help, Dad? We'd tinker, fixing his old bike or my truck, while classic rock played softly. One evening, he asked point-blank, Mom says you're letting her take the house. I met his eyes. I'm choosing what matters. He squeezed my shoulder. That's me, right? Always, bud. Linda pushed for a fast settlement. Her lawyer, Mara Keene, sent drafts like shopping lists. House, cars, business full ownership. I agreed to most with caveats. Evan with me, time to review. Mara called Tom irritated. Uncooperative. Tom chuckled later. She's impatient. Good for us. Nights, I'd pore over docs under a humming lamp, eyes scanning for load-bearing clauses. Liabilities, debts, assumptions. Linda was so greedy for the wins, she ignored the weights attached. The house felt like a shell. Walls farther apart, echoes in every room. Linda treated it like a flip project, imagining her new life. I'd pack my things, tool belt, chipped hammer, level from countless jobs. Items with history, scars from fixing our roof during a storm, steadying Evan on his first bike ride. Evan watched. Taking all that? For starting over. He nodded, a spark of hope in his eyes. The kitchen hit hardest. That door frame with Evan's height marks. Pencil lines from 8 to 17, dated, memories etched in wood. Linda caught me tracing them. You're not taking that. No, I said. Some things stay. We ate pizza on paper plates that night, good dishes gone. You sure about this, Dad? Evan asked. Not everything is everything, I replied. He got it. Quick engagement check. What's the one thing in your home that holds the most memories for you? Comment below. Let's build a community here. As the hearing neared, Linda barely spoke unless about logistics. I met Tom one last time. This is it, he said, doc spread. Sure. I thought of the storage unit, missing money, Linda's disregard for Evan. Sure. Morning of, I stood in the empty living room, breathing in the resolve. Locked the door, left the key for her. In court, Linda smiled confidently in her gray suit. Tom whispered, Okay, let's finish. Judge Klein read terms, her getting it all, me Evan. We signed. But Tom stood, acknowledge attached exhibits. Mara's face paled, flipping pages. What exhibits? The folder revealed it. Undisclosed liabilities, taxes, debts, violations tied to her business. Linda whispered, Mara. Mara's color drained. This changes things. The room tensed. Mara stood. Significant undisclosed liabilities. Linda. Rick, what did you do? Signed what you asked. Judge. Reviewing. Mara's voice rose. She accepted full responsibility. Linda's confidence cracked. Unfair. But liability follows ownership. The gavel fell. Adjourned. Outside, cold air freed me. The weight shifted. Hit like and subscribe button right away. These stories are my way of showing life's real turns. Betrayal to redemption. Share with a friend. It could change their day. Post-hearing, the call started. Linda's number. Then unknowns. Voicemails from Mara. Return my call. I didn't. Deal was done. Evan and I moved to a Kettering rental, simple, clean. Ate chicken on the floor first night. Not bad, Evan said. Lighter air, no echoes. Linda's business unraveled. Vendors demanded pay, storage flagged. Taxes hit. Posts dwindled, crop tight. Ran into an old buddy at gas station. Rough deal. It's settled. Word spread in Dayton's small circles. Linda's reinvention stalled. I felt peace, not glee. Steady, like after removing a bad load. Evan adapted. Desk by window, pasta cooking one night. Someone's gotta feed us. Sundays, pancakes. Routines survived. Hey, question. How do you rebuild after a big loss? Comments welcome. Regret crept in for Linda, I heard through grapevine. Late night texts. We need to talk. Ignored. Karma's quiet hand. One evening, storm watching with Evan. Stuff builds before breaking. Yeah, I agreed. You okay? I am. Kept the home, not the house. Months later, Linda's regret showed. House sold cheap, business folded under debts. She moved to a small apartment, alone. Evan thrived, transferred to OSU, we visited, proud. I dated eventually, found simple joy. Linda reached out once. Miss what we had. You chose, I replied. Life's about what you hold. If familiar, share your story below. Thanks for watching, subscribe for more. Peace out.